if you strip it from everything else, the core function of a farmers' organization is advocacy. It is to influence policies, whether it is a structure on local level, engaging with the local policymakers on municipal level, or in a province, or a national farmers' organization, the regional ones, or the international farmers' organization, us in World Farmers Organization. We need to influence policy on behalf of the farmers out there. And there are not that many issues on which policy affecting farmers is being made on international level. Well, to influence policy, you must first have policy. You must have consensus amongst farmers, from the smallest ones, smallholders, Africa and Latin America, to the industrial scale farmers in the global north, Europe and in the USA. And that's not easy to reach, because no two farmers farm the same. No two farmers have exactly the same interests. It is only in discussions amongst farmers that you can reach consensus. It's much better to have that discussions amongst farmers than out there in the streets or in the media. The role of the farmers' organizations are to bring these diverse group of farmers together, to see what is common amongst them, how they can reach consensus to influence policy. One of the biggest global threats to the interests of farmers is, of course, climate change. That is why we have engaged this process in UNFCCC, not only in the COP process, but also in the sub-sta processes, to see how agriculture can be included in the global agreements. And not only how they can be included, how us as farmers can actively be part of that. Because no one is as vulnerable to climate change than the world's farmers are. And indeed, no one can do more about it in a shorter space of time and cheaper than the world's farmers can. If anyone knows the impact of climate change, it is those who eke out a living in the sun and the rain with their fingers in the soil. You don't need to explain to farmers what climate change is all about. Farmers are in constant competition with the forces of nature. And of course, we've always had droughts and floods and fires and tornadoes. But we never had them as intense as lately and as frequent as lately. Storms and fires and droughts and floods has taken on a brand new face. When you watch television and you see the tornadoes which have recently hit the Caribbean, southern USA, or the floods on the Pampas, or the drought in the Western Cape in South Africa, or the fires, you most frequently see the pictures of the cities. I wish they've distributed on the international television networks more photographs and video clips of farms where livestock have been blown away, and sheds and pack houses. When a farmer is hit by one of these disasters, he or she loses everything and immediately becomes a part of the problem instead of being a part of the solution. We have so many mechanisms to assist those who have been struck by conflict or other kinds of disaster, whether it's shortages of food, like the World Food Programme of the UN. But we do not yet have a global solution for the farmers who face that kind of disaster. For us, the immediate question is, how do we get those farmers back on their feet again? How do we get them productive again? How do we ensure that they remain part of the solution? Now, of course, it's different from a World Food Programme where you can have disaster aid to rush to their assistance. Here we need a proper public-private partnership. We need to mitigate risk, and risk is the name of the game in agriculture, no matter where you farm or what you farm. Risk is the name of the game. Farmers know how to manage risk, but they don't know how to adapt in the face of the new challenges. So we have started this discussion amongst farmers to set up a kind of a global insurance policy, a global mechanism by which we can assist those farmers. And it's not only to assist them to get on their feet again. You see, for a very large part of the world's farmers, especially the smallholders in my neck of the woods and from Africa, they have major challenges to access financing, because any financier works on data to manage their risks. If there is no insurance, there's also no financing. For smallholders in the world, climate smart agriculture is exactly the same thing as modernization, mechanization, commercialization, the fight against hunger and poverty. It's the same thing. It is on how to ensure that we use the best new technology to enhance the profitability and the sustainability of our farmers. That's what it's all about. And actually, climate change has opened up brand new opportunities for that. This is much bigger a challenge than what any individual farmer can manage, or any local group of farmers. You need farmers to be well organized to meet these challenges. And that's the business we are in. We are organizing farmers, trying to assist those who are still unorganized to get organized on a local level. Today it is possible, because of mobile technology, to send a message to the farmers in the farthest corners of the world and get a reply from them in a very short space of time. It is possible to do advocacy in real time, to measure opinions. No matter how big you farm, no matter how you farm, farmers know that in order to be successful, you need to measure. What you cannot measure on a farm, you cannot manage on a farm. And the measurement, the data that comes from farms, is actually key to managing the risks in agriculture. Part of this initiative would be to ensure that farmers remain the owners of their own data, and that they measure the impact of climate change so that they can manage it. And that's the role of farmers' organizations. That's why key to meeting these challenges is to ensure that our farmers, up to the lowest levels, up to grassroots level, is properly organized. No one can go from farm gate to farm gate to collect data or to influence. You need to go through the gate of a farmer structure where there's proper communication in two ways, in two directions, to and fro. Organization to farmer and farmer back to organization. Thank you, moderator.